LL, what's good? Lucky Lefty Podcast. The Onora boys are in the building. Brought to you by Onora Whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. That premium American whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. And if you drink, by all means, do it
responsibly.
You got to do it responsibly. CFB Nation, presented by Twisted Tea.
That's right.
Hey. Audio edibles, Apple Podcast, Spotify. Check us out, man. We give it to you every day. And as always, we spin it different. My throat's a little raspy today, Left.
That's right.
I put some tea in the microwave and I totally forgot about it.
Lukewarm tea is not good, man.
No, man. No. But we had to start the show. So today is like the prediction show, your 3 keys to a dub, a little bit of CFB weekend. But this Michigan story just keeps growing, man.
You know what's so crazy about it is that they keep uncovering stuff. And the stuff is turning into like, when they showed, I watched the TikTok video, how they showed how drastically different Tennessee's schedule. How drastically different South Carolina had them last 2 games against ranked opponents, drastically different than the rest of the year. You're playing the 5th and 8th best team in the country, back-to-back last 2 games of the season, and you go from putting up barely 200 yards the week before to over 450 in both weeks. And you done scored 63 points and 50-something points on the – yeah, you guys were cheating. It's like, how does steroids affect baseball players? And it's like, okay, well, it doesn't make you hit the ball. But whatever they were doing in this had drastic impacts from knowing these signals on the games. It reflected the games. Like, I don't know how they didn't figure that out when they won those games.
Mm-hmm.
After it was such a out of nowhere big wins. Like, usually you get big wins in the middle of the season. You're not getting back-to-back big wins against your rival and a top 10 opponent without something having to happen, especially if they look trash the entire year. It wasn't like they looked good in parts of the year. We don't remember when they played Georgia and what Georgia did to them?
Man.
And then the next 2 weeks, y'all looking like Georgia. It doesn't make sense. And so it just shows that, hey, if it's willing to not get caught, people are going to attempt to do whatever it takes to win these games. And you've seen that it's affected not only Michigan, they got a whole system.
Yeah.
They're sharing notes with other teams to try to like place different teams. So I'm glad they figured this out now, because when the 12-team playoff comes, it's going to be the most rigged thing on the planet.
Yeah.
They're going to really literally rig it so the teams that are supposed to be the 12 best teams, so I hope it doesn't ruin the sport by them continuing to keep uncovering things. But, I mean, man, if that's what it takes to win football games, hell, throw the coaching out the window. None of them are good.
See, it's funny because I feel like this Saturday in South Bend should be – they can have our signs.
They can have our signs. Yeah.
That's the type of game. That's how bad. That's how bad I want Notre Dame to disrespect Pitt. Like, you know what? We're gonna run the same play 5 straight times. It ain't nothing you can do about it.
That's how we should have did Duke. Duke's tiny, eensy-weensy corners and tiny little linebackers. We should have did what we did to Ohio State that last drive for the rest of the teams that we have on the schedule. Just take the wheel. And then, like you said, you can give them the signals. We're running straight. A gap, B gap, 1 or 2 hole. You know? until we start to get all extra cute and stuff. But I think it's gonna be crazy once they get. I don't even know if you want to get to the bottom of this. That's the question. Do you want to get to the bottom of this scandal?
Yeah, they do. They do.
I don't know if you want to. I don't know if you want to.
You have to. You have to. Allegedly, according to, I think this came from Rivals on a message board. This whole thing started because Michigan tried to hack into Ohio State's coaches' computers or something.
Oh, they getting technical like that. They didn't hit up China for them hackable devices.
There you go.
Dang, Michigan, you that upset? You've been getting whooped for umpteen years back to back. That you got to hack the main computer, like on some James Bond. You done snuck into Ryan Day's office and put the little hard drive in the computer while it's uploading. Hey, listen, this is the time when Notre Dame, we put our good steward hat into the middle, and we look around and say, man, this is what good steward is about. Because you can't look at us. You know, I would love for us to ride the line of competitive advantages. I would love for us to ride the line. We don't do that. And maybe that's a good and bad thing. If anything, we're going to investigate ourselves before the NCAA ever investigates us. So I guess that's the saving grace. But still, man, I think this thing it's getting out of hand. If they're sharing signals and sending tape to other teams, got the whole defense with the wristbands on. That's what tripped me out. They said South Carolina didn't have wristbands all year on defense. But as soon as they played Tennessee, they had wristband up.
Mm-hmm.
How do you not recognize that as a coach, though? I'm like, wait a minute, something off. They pulling something over there. Ain't no way Tennessee should have lost that game versus South Carolina. Now that I'm thinking about it.
That's the game Hooker got hurt, right?
The game Hooker got hurt, and South Carolina just playing too perfect. It's like, damn, every call you got is just hitting from the trick plays to the all the in-betweens. You just getting massive yards. I'm like, there's no way y'all just figured out how to play football against the top 10 team in the country. You don't figure that out against the top 10 team in the country. It don't happen like that. So I do wonder if it expands like this, how are they going to punish it?
So, Left, it's amazing how prophetic we are sometimes. On Tuesday's show, we had a full conversation about Steve Angeli.
Yes, we did.
And the conversation that may take place with him and Marcus Freeman.
Sooner rather than later.
So Marcus Freeman yesterday was asked about the possibility of a transfer quarterback next year.
Uh-oh. That's $1 million question.
Marcus Freeman's response, yes. I'm going to sit down and talk to the coaches during the next bye week in a couple of weeks. And we'll figure that out and make that decision.
I don't know if we should, man.
Well, see, you can be a G and never do it, because there were reasons to not do it when Jack Cohn was the quarterback.
When Tyler came in, yeah.
Get Tyler in, let him play.
And if we let Tyler play, we wouldn't even have Sam wouldn't even be here now. Hell, Tyler may be the starting QB right now, going on year 3, like. But I think the win now culture, or just the fact that maybe they felt like they got it wrong. Maybe they felt like once Tyler got in there, they got it wrong and they had to go to the transfer portal, which I think is a disservice to Tyler because Brian Kelly should have had that Marcus Freeman conversation with Tyler if that was the case before we got Jack home. I don't know how Tyler saw himself developing when you're bringing in a guy to get him ready to play over you and then them to give you packages. That's not development. Coach G would never do that. I think his role is the most important in the offseason because you would be the determining factor if we get a transfer. Because you're supposed to be developing them dudes in the room. Right. Yeah, right. Like Sam is not even like your project for real. That's just him and Sam and Parker. That's their thing.
Right.
You may not even have much to say in the meetings because you still learning the offense. Coach G. So you're supposed to be helping them young cats be ready to go absolutely. And I think if we're doing it right, then don't go to the portal. Or if you're going to the portal, don't get a guy that's going to usurp the starting role for next year. Bring in a Joe Flacco type of player. Can help a Kenny Minchie develop.
Joe Flacco won a Super Bowl, bro.
Oh, my God. Regular season Joe Flacco, not playoff Joe Flacco. Bring in regular season Joe Flacco. Because he'll be all right, He'll keep you in the games. The good old Brian Hoyer. We need a Brian Hoyer. He's been in the league as long as LeBron's been in the league. But he's always the third guy, the emergency quarterback. It's cool that way. But Brian Hoyer, when in doubt, gets in the game, you're good. You're good. You can survive and maybe score a touchdown or two, but you're not going to get blown out because the man knows a lot. Now, it would be interesting to see how you would go about that. It's either all or nothing, though, at this point. You're not taking the quarterback, one, because of the restrictions. We only can take graduate transfers, right, or something like that. Like, it's not like we can just take any transfer. We have to take you got to graduate or you got to do something to come. That's why Hudson Card didn't come, right? He had 2-3 years left.
Mm-hmm.
So the way we've boxed ourselves in with these QB transfers is you either the man and you win us a championship or you don't. Now, because of the playoffs, which we talked about yesterday, because of how the playoffs is a second season, I don't mind us developing a quarterback during the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind taking a loss or two with the kid going balls to the wall, throwing for 350 and a couple interceptions, but you start to see some flashes. You're like, okay, we can work with that. Because by the time playoff rolls around, Kenny Minchie and CJ Carr should at least be kind of ready. Angeli should be kind of ready. I just don't think Angeli has enough talent to be impactful in the second part of the season with the playoff schedule. I think Steve Angeli can do some things regular season because we got a good team more times than not. But that 12-game playoffs, you need a guy. I think Sam Hartman in the 12-team playoff will look good for us. Because then it's about progression. We may not get to the championship, but hell, we get second round. With a Sam Hartman, that's going to elevate the team for the next year. So I think it's less about win now culture once the playoffs get changed, but it's even more important to the development of the guys that you have in the room now to build the confidence. What does the room think when none of them has started and you bringing in somebody else? It's like, damn, I ain't even get no reps on the playing field, and you bringing somebody in. That means you don't believe anything in me. And this is Steve Angeli's third time going through a transfer quarterback. I mean, the writing's on the wall. How many times they got to transfer guys in to tell them that you're not the guy? They got to keep looking for a guy year after year, and you've been in the room for about 2-3 years already. That would, if I was Steve, that would be telling me I gotta go. Because unless Marcus Freeman is blind or he don't look at my reps at all, he's supposed to look at me and be like, okay, Sam's gone. We got one in the chamber. Sam's gone. We got one in the chamber. He see him every day at practice.
Bro, I didn't play the position. I didn't play the game. It had to be the first media practice in the spring. And they had this drill set up with 5 quarterbacks and 5 receivers running routes.
Everybody throw to receiver.
Everybody throw to a receiver. It was immediately obvious right then that Kenny Minchie was a better thrower of the football than Steve Angeli.
So it took you one cold practice in spring to see that.
Yeah, so we've had these comments. People like, yo, why are you all so disrespectful to Steve Angeli?
It's not our fault.
It's not my fault he's inaccurate. Well, he's never played a game. Well, I've seen him pretty much in practices have the same issue. The same issue. And there's a reason why Kenny Minchie's name is starting to buzz.
There's a reason.
There's a reason.
I mean, Kenny Minchie took an ad out of the newspaper to come to Notre Dame. He didn't get recruited conventionally. He was committed to the team we about to whoop on this weekend. And then he got the, where's he from? Michigan?
No, Tennessee.
He got the Tennessee Gazette. And Notre Dame had a little ad in the corner of the newspaper that said quarterback wanted. Kenny dialed that 1-800 number and took a risk. Now, for a guy to do all of that and then to have so much buzz after the fact over the guys that have been recruited in the room, it's telling you something. How many times we got to go find a transfer, Steve Angeli? How many times we got to talk about the quarterbacks behind you, Steve Angeli, for you to see that, hey, maybe they're not having a future plan with you like you wanted to? Because you got to think, too, how do we develop an offense with a new guy every year? It's a setup. Sam Hartman and the plays we're running this year is not going to be the plays we're running next year. That's a part of development. That's a part of having years in an offense. You have to scrap this year and scrap last year.
Yeah.
You're not making no – you see how Al Golden in year 2 with this defense, they look way better. Year 2 doing the same stuff. They're getting it. They're starting to click. They're building on the foundation. And look at that. In 2 short years, you have a top 10 defense. And last year, we were hell-bent on saying this is too much. This is too tricky. You're doing all these blitzes unnecessarily. You got guys out of position, guys not making tackles. And just the same team next year with the same system to be a top 10 defense just shows you how important it is to have some continuity on your scheme and what you're calling. We wasted 2 years having Jack and Sam. 2 years. Because Coach G came in having Tyler teaching the offense. Tyler teaching Sam the offense. Tyler teaching Jared Parker the offense. Everybody like, we just going to try to figure this out because this is still somebody else's stuff. So then the next year after you transition, right, you get another guy and start over again? At some point, Tyler's gone. There is no encyclopedia reference to the offense because Tyler's gone and Tommy's gone. Sam's gone. Hell, so you got to start from scratch. You got to start from scratch next year. And I think it's worse off for Steve Angeli because now you starting from ground one. I doubt that they carry the same stuff as this year to next year because you have a totally different type of player. If anything, I would want Marcus Freeman in his next year to get his guys. Jared Parker may not even be there next year. So the transition of consistency, Coach G has to be able to still develop those guys in that room, regardless of where the offense is headed, which I think is interesting because you have so much hope in these guys.
Mm-hmm.
But then you're like, we want to consider getting a guy from out of nowhere to transfer in. You're transferring in guys to play, not transferring guys to hang around. So at some point, we got to get a handle on what we want to do with that position, because this is not like the rest of the team, how Marcus Freeman got everybody playing two ways and you just fill in players when we need them. And we got the quarterback position has to be handled with care, you know. You don't put your eggs in the grocery basket with the watermelon and the hard box foods and the meats and stuff. You put the eggs, you damn near take it out the cart and put it in the front seat. You don't even put the eggs in the trunk with the rest of the groceries. You got to put the eggs on your lap. Just like the bread. You're not going to put your bread at the bottom of the grocery basket when you're checking out. You're going to put the bread on top. For obvious reasons. So for the quarterback position, they're like the eggs. Can't put them in the same basket when you take it home. You got to put them in the front seat so that you make sure they protect them. Who are you protecting in that QB room right now? Who is your future in that QB room right now? Because if you look around at programs that are doing it right, program like Texas, they had all Arch Manning. They knew who they starter was, Quinn Ewers. Arch Manning going to develop. He going to come. He going to be all right. He got years. They said, you know what? We like Malik Murphy too. Roll him out there. Arch Manning ain't going nowhere. That's doing it right. Because you know why? They have a system. They have an offense. Quinn Ewers won that quarterback competition because he knew the offense better. We gave the offense to Sam. There's a difference. So it is important that if Parker continues to stay here, that he's like, all right, this year I'm working on my offense.
You know something else? That's Malik Murphy saying, I'm not leaving Sark.
Yeah, I'm not leaving.
My best chance to go to the next level
is right here.
Is to be under him.
That's right. So we're gonna figure this out.
Like, I'm leaving Sark to be under who?
To be under who exactly?
Like, what OC am I leaving to develop rather than Sark? Exactly. So he has a quarterback factory, in a sense, down in Texas, where quarterbacks can come in there with the expectation of being patient and waiting for their opportunity.
Right. You can only do that when you're at a place that Steve Sarkisian is one of the top offensive coordinators in the country. Lincoln Riley is one of the top offensive minds in the country. Lane Kiffin, one of the top offensive guys in the country. So when you're a quarterback in that room already, there is no going nowhere else. Where you gonna go? Because then you're just gonna go get some playing time. That just won't equate to how ready you could be being a part of that room. And for us, the difference is we don't got the foundation in the room to build off of. It's just like we just throwing fish in the pond. And we have a nice aquarium. We got a Steve fish, we got a Minchie fish, we got a CJ Carr fish. But ain't no piranhas in the tank. It's just a for looking show.
Yeah.
Until we get that foundation in there where we got that guy calling plays, where we got that QB coach that's developing guys. Until we get that in the room, I don't know, one, how you're going to develop, and two, I don't know how you're going to decide how to move forward with your offense. Every offense that's good is revolved around the quarterback.
So
the ones that struggle, aka Jalen Milroe, and especially in the beginning, it wasn't involved around him. They were calling plays that Tommy liked, and that's why they got in trouble. So every good, successful offense is an offense revolving around the quarterback.
mm-hmm.
Last 2 years, we've had it revolve around who? Michael Mayer? Not even around the quarterback. It was revolved around another player. We didn't revolve the offense around Drew Pine. Are you kidding me? And then you get two different quarterbacks with Jack Cohn and Tyler Buckner, so you don't have the quarterbacks just become a part of it. But Kyle McCord, they ran that offense through Kyle McCord. It said, hell, we're going to win or lose with Kyle. And that confidence they've had in Kyle has resulted in them being undefeated and probably won games that they probably shouldn't have.
Heck, Quinn Ewers was supposed to be starting for them right now.
Good. He's supposed to be starting for Ohio State right now.
He bounced. They lose the Rayola kid. He bounces to Georgia.
That's a good move because, I mean, who's down in Georgia right now that's going to take his spot?
Kirby has shown that he don't give a darn about recruiting rankings, bro. He starts the dude that the team follows.
The team follows. That's the right thing to do. That's right.
Because Justin Fields was on the bench.
And he didn't even try to finagle him in there.
Oh.
And he was playing behind freaking JT Daniels.
No, he wasn't even playing behind JT. He was playing behind Fromm.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Fromm. Oh, my
JT
God.
got hurt. So this quarterback situation, we said it Tuesday. Before Marcus Freeman was asked about it, we said the conversation was going to take place in a couple of weeks. Did we not, Malik?
Yeah, we did.
Before he was asked about it Thursday, on Tuesday's show, we said, oh, Marcus Freeman's going to have the same quarterback conversation he had last year.
That's right.
And he confirmed it.
Until we said, yeah, I mean, he's looking for answers, but Marcus Freeman got it. What they always say, you're looking existentially, you have to look inward. Right? That's how I go. You're looking for love outside of yourself when you have to look for love within. That's why Marcus Freeman is so ready to kick dudes to the curb, because he's looking for love outside.
You got to love yourself.
You got to love yourself.
You got to love yourself.
And in loving yourself, these repetitive conversations with the quarterbacks don't happen because you're having different conversations with the love from in-house because you're telling Kenny, I need you to be ready next year. That's the conversation. That's loving yourself. Mm-hmm. That's loving your program. I mean, hell, you recruited them. Not loving yourself, quote unquote, is I like that you're here, you got your degree, but we're not seeing eye to eye. You're not winning enough for me. Your talent's not good enough for where I'm at, and I got to go elsewhere. And it's a catch-22 because you recruited all the guys that you say you need better than. So for a guy like Steve Angeli, I don't know how much he even has to operate with considering the circumstances. Because if Marcus Freeman has another conversation with Steve, I'm like, I'm out of here. Because I was here with the last conversation and you didn't even talk to me.
Right? And if you're Steve Angeli, you have to at least say, I need 2 years.
Yes. Somewhere. Shit.
Somewhere. With Deuce and CJ and Kenny, you're not getting 2 years.
You're not getting 2 years.
I don't think he can hold them off. You
would have to win the Heisman your first year and win a championship to even hold on to the spot for next year. I mean, I don't know how else you hold on to it because winning games is like, who cares anymore at Notre Dame? Who cares? Winning games ain't even – Brandon Wimbush was what, 17-2? in that small sample size. Hell, we had Brandon Wimbush that was 17-2 or something crazy. Ian is the winningest quarterback of all time. These are recent back-to-back type of careers. It's not like we went 25 years and then we got Ian Book and then another 30 years we get a Brandon. We've had winning quarterbacks with winning records for a consistent amount of time right now. Hell, I'm even undefeated as a starter. So winning ain't even the crux of what's going to get you on that playing field at quarterback at Notre Dame.
Man, the funny, I guess this person has like a vendetta. Because we've had every show this week, they put the same thing in the chat. The same thing.
What's the same?
About Notre Dame failing Sam Hartman. Sam Hartman failed Notre Dame.
That's it.
The dude was brought here to win 3 games. That's it.
And damn near 2, because we ain't even counting Clemson no more.
We didn't need you for the rest of the schedule.
We didn't need you for the rest of the
We brought you here to win 3 games.
You won one of them.
And you lost one of the games.
That damn near was the most important game.
That Tyler Buckner might have been able to win. If we're going to keep it funky.
We can keep it a buck.
If we're going to keep it a buck, Tyler Buckner might have been able to beat Louisville.
And damn near Ohio State, the way we played it, the way the quarterback played the game, because if you think about it, we were using almost the same strategy as last year, except we were just a better team this year. Run the ball, run the ball, run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. And
I promise you, I'm not trying to come at that comment. The comment just made me think about something along with this transfer quarterback situation. If you're coming in as a transfer, you're being brought here for the big games. That's the only
Brandon
reason.
Joseph he couldn't have a good season. Brandon Joseph, you're supposed to be the guy.
That's the only reason to bring in a transfer quarterback.
It's the only reason.
You can go down to College Station and win.
Yeah.
What I think we play Miami next year. I don't even know if Miami's a big game next year. Let me pull up the schedule.
Miami shoot themselves in the foot too much for them to be considered a big game. They got to make it to the game to be a big game. Hell, even when we lost to them, when we went down there, we beat ourselves. It's not like Miami was doing over-the-top extra stuff to beat us. We beat ourselves that game. With ridiculous pick sixes and stuff.
Bro, Notre Dame's schedule next year is super light. Super light. If you're a transfer quarterback, you're being brought in to win 3 games next year. Texas A&M.
Yep.
Florida State.
Yep.
And USC. That's it.
Jordan Travis is there next year?
No, but I mean, I expect Florida State to still. Heck,
right.
Caleb Williams isn't there next year, but I expect USC to have talent.
Shoot, the way we beat them last year, I don't know. we may got Lincoln Riley number the way we beat that boy like that. But hell, if you look at it from that perspective, we don't need a transfer at all. We got talent to beat these teams straight up.
But that's going all the way back to Tyler Buckner. You don't need a transfer if you're truly moving the program in the right direction.
That's right. If he was moving in the right direction, like you said, the only reason why the transfer is viable for Notre Dame is that we can guarantee a win with this guy. And right now, I mean, what is he, 1 for 2 on games that he was brought here to win? But I really do think that next year, because of how the playoffs are going to be reformed, that these regular season games just don't weigh enough for me to believe that we need a transfer quarterback.
Yeah.
They just don't weigh.
See, the same person is taking what you said out of context, because you said play to the strength of your quarterback. That's within the context of not getting transfer quarterbacks and developing your quarterbacks.
Exactly.
Keep it in context. Don't take his words out of context.
That's right.
That's not what he said. He said play to the strength of your quarterbacks based upon the quarterbacks that you develop within your system.
Within the system. What is the system for a Kenny? What's the system for a Carr? Hell, what's Sam's system? Sam ain't only been there for a couple months. He couldn't, So the development of that aspect means so much to the success of the guy that's running the show.
Mm-hmm.
When you got a guy out there, you just calling plays, he's going to look at it it's just a play to run. But when you're in tune because you have a scheme for the guy that you're calling plays for, it flows so much better. Everything starts to work. You start to see the quarterback grow over the weeks and months and this, that, and the third. We've been stagnant ever since Ian, because did Ian really develop in them 3 or 4 years? Was Ian much better when he left than when he got here? It's debatable. He didn't win any awards as he got older, starting the 50 or so games.
Hey, he got to the league.
He got to the league, but is that because of attrition? You the all-time winningest anything at Notre Dame, you're gonna get yourself in the league.
Yeah.
You all-time win anything, you're gonna get into the league. So that's the consolation prize that you get as a quarterback at Notre Dame. If you just get on the field, let alone win some games, you're gonna get a chance at the league.
Lucky Lefty podcast. And I look, bro. You have Joe Alt, Blake Fisher, Audric Estime. All of these people that have given blood, sweat, and tears to Notre Dame and what they do offensively. And because a dude transfers that didn't even win the quarterback controversy until Tyler left.
Until he left.
Which was this spring. But somehow, some way, people believe Notre Dame should have been running the Wake Forest offense. That's not even logical. What are you talking about?
It's not logical.
Audric Estime is a beast that's been running in the offense for 2.5 years, and you're going to change to a bullcrap offense that averaged 2.9 yards per rush for Sam Hartman?
For Sam Hartman.
It don't even make sense. You're going to change what every other player has been working their tails off in to do the same thing Sam Hartman wants to do.
For a year.
And you're going to scrap that for a year. Dude, this whole quarter, man, look, I'm not making no excuses for Sam Hartman. Sam Hartman failed himself.
Yeah, that's it. You got to win that Ohio State game.
He made the choice to come here.
You got to win that Louisville game. You got to win that Ohio State game. That's why you came.
He knew the offense. He knew what was being expected. He failed himself. That's why I don't play that blame game, bro. Sam Hartman has more than enough. He had more than enough around him
to make us look better.
Wait, to beat Ohio State.
Oh yeah.
We said.
And this is what you
there
have.
There were plays that Sam Hartman missed against Ohio State. At least 3 to 5 plays.
Yeah, we were saying we were afloat without Sam being the impact player of the offense. If he just brought those 4 or 5 plays that he missed, we're smoking Ohio State. We're smoking them. That all 22 copy don't lie. That's how.
Man, look.
That's how I have to dice it. How close it is. Sam bringing that 5 experienced veteran leadership type of plays in the Ohio State game that he didn't include. It changes the game because everything else around Sam supported the fact that we could have a chance of winning. We just needed that the Salt Bay, just the icing on the cake to take us home. What if they got to lick the envelope so it stick? We done wrote the letter. We done put the post thing on there. We done labeled it. We just needed to lick and stick the letter. We didn't ask Sam to do it by himself and throw for 5,000 yards in the game and have 8 touchdowns and outplay the whole. No, we just said, look, Sam, we're gonna run the ball, but on 4th and 1, you got to pick that up for us. When we backed up and we calling a vertical shot down the field because we haven't called one all game.
Didn't I tell you that Sam Hartman wouldn't know the difference between quarterbacking for Wake Forest and quarterbacking in Notre Dame Stadium against Ohio State? Didn't I tell you he wouldn't know the difference?
Yeah.
And see, when a head coach comes to the press conference the following week and says, yo, Sam has to put his head down and get that.
Yeah,
and I told him, bro, this ain't Wake Forest.
This ain't Wake Forest. You got to put your head down and get that first down. We not accepting the close but no cigar. You got pushed out. That's not how you got here.
No. Like, dude, come on, man. Just stop.
It's got to mean that much to you.
It's a huge difference between throwing for whatever he threw for at Wake Forest and playing at Notre Dame as quarterback. Huge difference.
Huge difference. It just means more. It's weighted more.
Dude, Wake Forest has one meaningful game, maybe 2 every year. Maybe.
Florida State, Clemson.
Notre Dame is meaningful to somebody every week.
Every week. Shit, we had 5 back-to-back primetime games, night games.
That game to Tennessee State was meaningful.
It was meaningful. Hell yeah, it was meaningful.
That's every week at Notre Dame.
Hell, the first game we went out the country.
That's why the whole Notre Dame is tired excuse was being put out there. Because for 4 straight weeks, when everybody else was coasting, playing Eastern school or Western school, Notre Dame was playing contender,
track game.
4 straight weeks. You know why? That's Notre Dame. That's what it means to be the quarterback at Notre Dame.
But it will change, though, because are we going to still continue to put together a super tough regular season schedule with the new playoff system? See, I don't know.
It's amazing. Hey, it's amazing that the schedule, the first year of expansion for Notre Dame is super light. Dude, listen to this schedule, man.
Light, for sure.
Listen to this.
Light.
Texas A&M.
Hit or miss.
On the road. Northern Illinois. Purdue. Miami of Ohio. Louisville. Stanford. Georgia Tech. Navy. Florida State. Virginia. USC. That's the schedule next year. You darn right Notre Dame made the schedule light once they expanded the playoffs.
Because we just trying to get in now.
That's it.
We just need to get in. We don't even care about undefeated seasons and none of. Give us the games that we can get in. We don't care how easy or hard they are. We need them one of them 12 spots. And then it's up to us. Then we gotta play. Then we gotta see who's the X factors. Quarterback gotta step up, but regular season changes everything, man. That playoffs, I don't see the need for Notre Dame to want to schedule a Texas or Ohio State. Why? Oregon. Why? We mop up the teams regionally, like we usually do, and we're going to put ourselves in a better seed. Give us some of that indie basketball magic. Drop us in the Elite Eight after 2, whatever games. I do not want Riley Leonard, by the way. Stop putting Riley Leonard in the chat. Riley Leonard didn't show enough versus us for us to want him. What do you mean? What did Riley Leonard show up against us that makes you go like, we need him on our team? Nothing.
I will say this. He played a better game against Florida State than he did against us.
We have a better defense in Florida State.
He was tough against Florida State. But Florida State doesn't have the secondary we do. His receivers were a little more open. And they ran the ball like crazy against Florida State.
Yeah. That's what you're going to have to do when you got that monster at receiver on the other side.
So, why are we saying this? Well, we're saying this because Tuesday we said the conversation was going to happen. Marcus Freeman said Thursday, yeah, I'm going to talk to the coaches during the next bye week to see if we need to go back to the portal. Our suggestion was that Steve Angeli go ahead and start looking.
Beat him to the punch, Steve. Beat him to the punch.
Because you should want 2 years to play.
Yeah.
And I don't see him holding off. This stuff we're hearing about Kenny Minchie now. See, Left, I'm not one of those people. You know how people have to say, I'll wait and see. Right?
Not this.
I tell you the story all the time. Like I saw Eric Rose in the state playoffs against Bobby Frazier, who was a McDonald's All-American. And Derrick Rose scored 8 points in that game. 8 Left. 8. But the way he defended Bobby Frazier, I turned to my cousin and said, he's going to the league. I didn't need to watch another game. He was a sophomore.
It don't take much to know what
that kid is going to the league. Audric Estime's freshman year. I went on an IB show after a practice and said, yo, this guy Audric Estime is going to be something because he has amazing feet for his size. I didn't have to watch another practice.
I remember you telling me that. You said that was the fastest big dude through the ladders you've seen.
I said, dude, this dude through the ladders with his feet.
You haven't seen nothing like that. And then what does it translate to?
He has amazing feet. I didn't need to see him in a game.
No.
It was what it was.
That's a great point you bring up because what is Steve waiting for?
I've seen Steve. That's why my suggestion is start looking.
Because if you're going to wait yourself into a situation where you're going to wish you didn't wait. And you never want the coaches to have that leverage power over you.
Let me tell you something else I said after spring practice. Kenny Minchie is the best thrower of the football.
With Sam.
In the program.
Yeah.
Did I not call you after practice and tell you that?
Because he got the touch.
In the spring. In the spring, I said this. People want to wait and see. Oh, we'll wait and see. Hey, wait and see. All 5 quarterbacks are throwing at the same time.
At the same time. You can look at it.
Look. And if you watch Kenny and how he moves,
he moves like a dog.
He knows he's that dude. You can tell.
Especially over the dudes he's competing against.
It does. So what? He's quiet. He knows he's a dude.
What he said in the comment? He said, yeah, they like to be buddy and all that, but I'm throwing it. I know I can. They say, what do you think you can do better?
And what did you say? When you heard that answer, you said he reminds me of me when I came in.
That's right. He wasn't.
When everybody was telling me to buddy up with the quarterbacks, buddy up with Ev, and you were like, nah.
Can't do it. Can't do it. Not if you want to play. This ain't the NFL where
So all of this buzz now about Kenny Minchie is no shock to us.
Nope.
Matter of fact, hold on. I'm going to put the film observation that we put on our YouTube page There's the link to it. That's Malik's film breakdown of Kenny Minchey. The video got Kenny Minchey's mom to contact us to tell Malik that Malik is the reason why Kenny Minchey wears 8.
That's right.
Because he was the first starting quarterback at Kenny Minchey's first Notre Dame game in the bowl game against LSU.
That's real.
That's why Kenny Minchey wears 8. Because of this dude.
It's destined, man. He's ready to go.
The one thing that stood out about the film breakdown, Left, you said this kid in high school knows how to throw the football like a pro.
Yeah.
He knows how to put touch. He knows how to layer it in between levels. He can throw to the second level, third level, outside, inside. He can put zip on it. He was like, you don't see this in high school.
Yeah, because you can't teach that necessarily. You can't teach layering of football. And
we don't need to see that in a Notre Dame game. He is blessed with that.
Yeah, he just
got certain it. Dude, Audrey Estimate is blessed with good feet.
Yeah,
he's blessed with it. I don't need to see a game to know he's blessed with that left. I'm looking at it in practice like, yo, this dude is blessed.
Yeah.
Do we really need to see the first two times Jeremiah Love touched the ball? Did you need to see anything else to know that he was going to be special?
He was different.
Different and explosive? No. I need to see more from him. Really?
Well, yeah, like what do you need to see? He's got elite speed, explosiveness, shifty. And he's got a pop to him. The screen poppers. We talk about all the time.
I'm just saying, when everybody else left, was talking about Jaden Greathouse. And Jaden Greathouse had better high school film, ranked higher. Everybody was talking about Jaden Greathouse. Who went to practice and called you and said, yo, this cat Rico,
yeah, some pop to him.
I said it's the way he moves and the way he runs his routes.
Yeah.
This cat Rico. Yeah. Who's a starter right now? I know it might be because of injury. But Rico's done some things to earn it as well.
Yeah, he's done some things, and a lot of guys haven't done some things. That's where he got him to where he's at. It would be nice to see Rico stepping it up and doing well, and then pushing older guys that are also doing well to bring them up to speed, because Kenny can't be lead. We have Rico Flores leading the charge of the receiver room, only being there less than, 8 months?
Is he really leading the charge?
He was the number 1 receiver, and then guess who's number 2?
But the big play threat, the big play threat right now is Chris Tyree.
And Jordan Faison. What's his name?
You funny.
What's his name?
Jordan Faison.
Jordan Faison. He is the number 2. Rico's number 1. Chris Tyree, whenever Sam decides he wants to throw it to him, can make an impact. Should be a lot more. But his favorite receivers are Mitchell Evans, the tight end, Jordan Faison, the lacrosse player, and Rico Flores, who doesn't know what he doesn't know yet. He's just out there being an athlete. Can we really say Rico is an elite receiver right now? When you compare it to elite receivers in college football, no.
Bro.
Will Rico start at Colorado over Jimmy Horn and Weaver and all them boys? No. But that's okay. That's okay that it's no, but it's also a problem because why don't we got a Weaver or a Horn or kept Dylan Edwards? There's no excuse for that. We got a guy that wouldn't be the number 1 on Colorado, number 1 for us, forcefully. I haven't seen a rise in a receiver that fast, but it was more because of need than it is because of special ability.
It was some unfortunate things. injuries to guys you were depending on that were veterans.
They said we hating on Faison. He got 5 power, 1 deal. Listen, the man wanted to play lacrosse.
Not hating on Jordan Faison.
We're not hating on him. We saying for him to be his story and for the recruiting efforts that Marcus Freeman puts behind and Chancey Stuckey puts behind and all of these guys involved in recruiting these Carnell Tates and top receivers in the country, Faison shouldn't be the best receiver in the room. That looks bad on the coaches. I'm not saying nothing about him playing is bad. It looks bad on the coaches when you're doing all this recruiting and you got guys in the other locker room on the other sports teams figuring it out more than us. Because now it speaks to your development. You ain't developing JT. You ain't developing a Chris Tyree to transition into slot receiver. Because for you to even find Faison on the field, unless it's a bunch of injuries, why is he catching the game, winning, tying touchdown? Not that he can't, but it's no different than Salerno being out there.
This is the crazy thing. I see what you say, Andrew Gilmore. But see, this is the problem. Seasoning ain't got nothing to do with physical talent. The best thrower of the football in the program is Kenny Minchey.
It don't need no seasoning.
Ain't got nothing to do with seasoning. It's simply having 2 eyes and watching the drills with the 5 quarterbacks all lined up and watching the ball come out of their hands. Ain't got nothing to do with seasoning. Nothing. Nothing at all. Don't tell me about seasoning, bro. Kenny Minchey's a 3-year starter in high school. You talking about he missed games because of injuries as a senior. What is it? So what?
So what? Yeah. He
came back to the playoffs and won games after that injury. What's your point? What are we talking about, man? He needs seasoning for what? To hand the ball off 45 times to the running back? What are we talking about?
We still run the ball.
You see the running back room he's going to have next year?
He don't have to do much.
He needs seasoning to hand the ball off. Left to Jeremiah Love, Aeneas Williams, Keedron Young, Jabron. He needs seasoning to hand the ball off.
They hit you with that Tobias Merriweather criticism. Oh, we need to just trust him some more. Trust him some more.
And a defense that should be just as good.
Yeah, defense going to be solid next year.
He needs seasoning. See, this is the problem. John Beck, or the Beck kid, how many games did he have? He needs seasoning. Kirby said, run the ball, don't turn the ball over. And when you get in trouble, find number 19. It's real simple.
For Carson Beck, that's easy.
There is no bunch of seasoning.
No.
And allow our defense to help you win games.
Yeah, put Carson Beck somewhere else. He won't. It's like he wouldn't be talking about. He wouldn't be talking about.
Don't be mad at us because Kenny Minchey is the most physically talented quarterback in Notre Dame. Don't be mad at us. Be mad at the people that recruited the quarterbacks before him.
Damn near Kenny.
It's not our fault. Kenny Minchey throws the ball better than Steve Angeli. I don't care how seasoned Steve Angeli is. He is inaccurate. I've seen it enough in practices. Yeah. He's inaccurate.
Can't train that.
Especially to the right side. He's inaccurate.
Well, they say that's the truth, Ruth.
Like, what else? I'm sorry for reporting what my 2 eyes have seen. I'm sorry for telling you early that Jeremiah Love was cold. I'm sorry.
You told us early.
I'm sorry for telling people before Audrey Estimate took a snap that he had great feet. I'm sorry.
You definitely.
I'm sorry for reporting what I see out of my eyes. I'm sorry. I apologize. And you want to call me crazy for what I see and what I tell you. I'm sorry for being crazy to be able to see what's obvious on the field.
Yeah, the coaches see it. That's why they're talking about it. They see it too.
The head coach just said, because if Steve Angeli was so seasoned and ready left,
they wouldn't be
Marcus Freeman wouldn't be talking about having a conversation.
No. Oh, hell no. Hell no. Hell, they wouldn't have been talking about having a conversation the year before.
Let's be realistic. So we're not crazy. Your head coach just said, I got to have a conversation with the coaches. How many practices has Marcus Freeman watched, Lev? You would think he should be able to know whether or not Steve Angeli can be that dude.
He probably knew within the first week of spring practice.
Man, come on.
How fast did it take for you, like you said, how fast did it take for you to see Jeremiah Love and know he was going to be special? About 2.5 seconds or even 2 or 3 drills. Drills, not even live work in 11 on 11. Just a couple drills let you know. Caleb Williams took a couple plays. You sub him in and he throw a touchdown in 2 plays. He's a dude. And then win the game on top of that. It's just like, oh yeah, I don't need more games to watch. How many games do you need to watch a Steve? I saw him in the spring game. Saw him at practice. I never went at one point like, damn, we got us. That Steve kid, we got us one. Never. The highlight I see from Steve is hanging with Sam. That's his highlight I see. So, a mentality difference.
It's
something
crazy,
that the
man.
needs.
Like people, I've never seen anyone upset about the thought of a sophomore quarterback at Notre Dame being the starting quarterback next year. After everything we've been through with the quarterback room.
That's right. Yeah, we definitely shouldn't care that
our sophomore quarterback starts next year, and our freshman quarterback is getting ready because he enrolled early.
That's right.
With Deuce Knight in the pocket.
In the chamber.
And you're upset about that?
Angeli got to move on.
You're upset? And then you use a hot Dante Moore. See, look, this is funny. Chip Kelly did what he had to do with Dante Moore because Dante Moore was turning the ball over.
Yeah.
Dante Moore is the best quarterback in that room. But hold on. Wait. Is it Dante Moore's fault that he was the starter, or is it the fact that over the first 3 weeks he outplayed Garber? See, we forget that.
Yeah,
don't come with that stupid stuff. Don't act like he just gave the job. Garber was the starter and was trashed and got outplayed by Dante Moore. That's why Dante going into the conference season got the start. And you want to be hard on the kid because he struggled on the road at Utah. Really? I can give you a list of veteran Pac-12 quarterbacks that have struggled against Utah. And he struggled on the road against Oregon State.
Those are 2 tough teams.
2 toughest places to play. And you want to try to use that as evidence against Kenny Minchie. Come on, man. No, I object. Sustained.
I object.
That's ridiculous, man. Come on. You have to give better evidence than that. As a program and fans, we have been begging Notre Dame to get the quarterback room right.
Begging.
And there is no quick answer.
None.
Dude, in a season where you can afford to lose 2 games because of playoff expansion, you're worried about starting a sophomore quarterback in a program that finally has an actual developer of quarterbacks in a quarterback coach. Kenny Minchie is the first freshman to actually have a quarterback coach with him the entire year. You know how long? He's the first one in decades to actually have someone work with him and develop him day by day.
That was the last one in 8 years.
Day by day. That's a blessing, man.
Yeah.
Kenny Minchie, I'll say this because I say it all the time. Either Notre Dame is an elite program or they're not.
That's
and
it.
if Notre Dame is an elite football program, sorry, my wife walked out the front door. If Notre Dame is an elite college football program, Kenny Minchey should be able to walk out on that field against Pitt and start.
Oh, yeah, he should be able to beat.
It's November, Left.
Yeah, he should be able to beat Pitt right now.
He should be able to beat Pitt right now. Handing the
if
ball off,
and if
throwing
he's
the
not,
ball 15 to 20
that's
times.
on the coaches.
Yes.
Because Kenny's talent is already there.
That's it.
We already know he got talent. We've been saying he should have, the Tyler Buckner ideology is that he should have been ready by November. If you're going to start Jack and all that, give Jack until.
That's it. He left Freeze. It's probably on that hotel Wi-Fi. That's it, fam. Like, literally, Left to probably reconnect. This is all I'm saying. I'm ecstatic. Because, Marcus Freeman, you should have that conversation with your coaches. And you should have a conversation, or I appreciate you saying we have these type of conversations with our players on a weekly basis to let them know where they stand. That's fantastic. But as Notre Dame fans, we should be ecstatic because we have been begging for this program to have a real quarterback room. We've been begging for it. Okay? And if a sophomore quarterback is the first one in the line of hopefully a long line of Notre Dame quarterbacks to actually have a quarterback coach and be developed properly, has to start as a sophomore to begin that process, start the darn process. Go through the darn growing pains, man. Go through it.
We have to.
Stop trying to avoid the growing pains.
Stop trying to avoid it.
Go through it.
Yeah. Because you might be better for it on the other side.
Left. And I understand. If Jared Parker being the OC, it makes you pause at the growing pains and all of that. Okay. That's a whole nother argument. Left. I am not scared of Kenny Minchey having to be the starting quarterback against Texas A&M, Northern Illinois, Purdue, Miami of Ohio, Louisville, Stanford, Georgia Tech.
Not if they doing him right now. Not if they trying to develop him and get him ready to actually play and be like, listen, this is what we want, like with you. This is what we need to pay attention to from Sam Hartman, and we're going to develop from there. AKA, what did they tell Bryce when he was watching Mac play?
Next year is the perfect schedule to play a young quarterback.
Yeah, because then he can get his lumps, get us in the playoffs, and then we'll figure out how to develop from there.
Yes.
We're not asking to win the whole thing next year, but we would like to be in contention with a quarterback that's going to have more than 1 year under his belt. You can't, like you said, it's the fact that we just keep running away from the issue. At some point, you're going to have to go through it. Because then if not, you're going to have a room full of guys 2 or 3 years in, ain't touched the field because you keep replacing them with grad transfers.
Left. They play Texas A&M in August. Notre Dame doesn't play another real game until November. Why wouldn't I play? Heck, if CJ Carr comes in and beats out Kenny Minchey, play him. Play him. If CJ Carr comes in and beats out Kenny Minchey, play him. Play him. This schedule is form fit for a young quarterback.
You can't trust that hotel Wi-Fi, by the way.
I understand, Left. That's why I get the premium if they have it. I don't use the basic. I'll go ahead and pay the extra
What
$3-4
the
bucks for the premium, bro. But they play Texas A&M in August. They don't play Florida State until November. Left. That is the perfect time. If CJ, like I said, you were off. If CJ Carr comes in and beats Kenny Minchie out, play him. Play him.
Play him.
That's why that Dante Moore stuff, there is no comp to. No comp. The ACC? You worried about ACC schools?
We recruited Kenny because Kenny's good now. It ain't like we trying to make Kenny be something. Kenny got all the talent needed to do whatever we need him to do. It's about fostering the talent, because at the end of the day, Kenny Minchie has given us enough to work with. But if we don't work with it and we don't surround it the right way and cultivate that talent, how do you ever see us getting out of this continuous routine? We should have learned from Tyler Buckner's situation that we can't keep doing this. We should have been with the mindset we messed up because we didn't play Tyler Buckner as soon as he got in here.
Yeah.
Because of our own insecurities, our own whatever confidence, our own recruiting abilities. Somehow we recruited a kid that we don't want to play yet. Doesn't make sense. So you go out and reach for a guy who has less talent than Tyler.
Yeah.
A guy who wasn't even in contention of playing because he was sitting the bench at a Big Ten school that is terrible right now.
Yeah.
But you have more trust than that. A guy you've never met him. So we should have learned right then and there. Okay, that's a road that is never ending. We will always continue to keep getting these grad transfers and that development. Look back at Tyler's last game. You can sit there after the things that you put him through and be like, okay, we've developed him enough for X, Y, and Z. Clearly, the packages that you had for him throughout the year, and even going into how you handled him in the spring, just shows you never had a plan to do anything with him. We're using him like a utility player, like one of these receivers. So that should have been the lesson Marcus Freeman saw right there. Oh, okay. If we don't have the conscious mind of developing the guy and we're chasing after transfers, we're going to have a backed up problem in the QB room where it's going to be harder to fix because now you got a bunch of untapped potential that are gaining years. Mm-hmm. In a game where you damn near got to be ready to play day one. The days of letting the guy sit forever, one, the kids ain't going to take that. Two, it's going to hurt your program.
Yeah.
So the Tyler Buckner experiment, I'm glad that Brandon Wimbush. I thought we at least were decisive. When they went to end, they went to end. Wasn't no more Brandon. And Brandon was winning. So how does it go from y'all can make a tough decision like that, but you do this to Tyler Buckner, who hasn't had a chance to win at all, but you won't give him the spot, but you won't let him get the spot either. It's just that's a tough place to be in. Mm-hmm. Steve Angeli's in the same place. They're not. Steve Angeli can walk in their office right now and see his name on no future plans. They don't have his name on no whiteboard of this is the future roster with he's not on there. I'm saying from not literally, but I'm saying from the coach's perspective, they're not planning the future with Steve Angeli. Because if they were, they would be fools. Because it shouldn't have taken 3 years to finally decide.
I'm trying to connect the dots. See, everybody has a valid point.
Okay.
When it comes to the quarterback room, from Tyler Buckner all the way down, fine. See, the point is, I think the point that you're trying to make as a quarterback who went through a bullcrap quarterback development system at Notre Dame, I think what you're trying to say is the proper way to develop Tyler Buchner is to bring him in and actually let him play, right? Yeah. Because this is the thing. That was a year weak schedule. Notre Dame won double-digit games, but Notre Dame after that, the coach knew that the cupboard was bare. Wait a minute. The head coach knew the cupboard was bare. Didn't matter how many games you won. He knew the cupboard was bare. He knew the wide receiver room was trash. He knew that was the worst offensive line in the last decade in Notre Dame. He knew that. He knew all the little things. He knew the linebacker room wasn't that good moving forward. He knew all these things. He knew the program was deteriorating. And he knew it's time for me to get out of here. That's why he left and went to LSU while he was eating barbecue at Tobias Merriweather's.
Well, that $100 million make you change your mind a lot too.
That's why he did it in the middle of a recruiting visit.
Oh, that's Brian Kelly got the ruthlessness about him now. Yeah.
If you know things are that bad, then what are you trying to say? What do we say about Tobias Merriweather? The reason he's struggling with confidence, the reason he's struggling with confidence as a sophomore is because you did a terrible job instilling confidence as a freshman.
Facts.
It's the same thing with Tyler. The reason he struggled with confidence as a sophomore is because you did a terrible job developing him and instilling confidence in him as a freshman.
And you had no plan. They had no plan for Tyler.
No plan. Here, you have 6 plays to run, and we're going to start you as a quarterback.
And we're evaluating his whole time there.
Absolutely.
What year in which Tyler Buchner, you felt they actually had something for him, where they're like, all right, this will be our future starter? Never.
Mm-hmm.
Red shirt the first year, whatever. Red shirt sophomore, you supposed to pop on the scene.
Mm-hmm.
But you bring a guy in, and then it's like, okay, they battle. You're gonna play both, but you didn't really play both. You played one, and then had a compliment like side potatoes over here with Tyler Buchner. Because I got the spaghetti with the fish. You know what I'm saying? I got the spaghetti and then you get the side plate of the green beans.
Yeah.
The green beans ain't the fish and spaghetti.
Yeah.
The green beans help.
See, let me tell you what visionaries do. Visionaries say to themselves, I could bring these average to good cats back. You will like this, Left. You will like this. I got one superstar. And I can bring these good to average cats back at like 10 to 12 million a year for 2 years and make the playoffs in the Eastern Conference. Or I cannot give contracts to these good players, bottom out, tell my best player to chop it up with his boy and his other boy about all coming here, and we'll just suck this year. We'll just bottom out the cap and stink. Because even if I bring those dudes back, we ain't doing nothing. We're not winning the championship. But I'm enough of a visionary to see I'll sacrifice this season to go ahead and set up things in the future.
Yeah.
And see, that's the problem. That season with Jack Cohn, Notre Dame wasn't winning anything.
No.
The schedule was soft and trash.
You're not recruiting a backup.
The program was deteriorating from talent. The recruiting had been bad the previous 2 years. But Notre Dame fans are like, we won 11 games. We won 11 games. Dude, the program was not the same program. You were nowhere closer to win a national championship team. I don't care how many games their team won. You lost to Oklahoma State in a bowl game, bro.
Yeah.
that wasn't a top-notch Notre Dame team.
To a quarterback that transferred and hadn't played since.
Absolutely. So yes, rip the Band-Aid off. Let the freshman quarterback play and get
take lumps
and actually build an offense around him and see what he can do, and then go and recruit another great quarterback
that fits the system.
Right. So we had to sacrifice 2 more years left before Notre Dame actually started building a quarterback room. And now fans want to sit here in a year where the playoff is being expanded and the schedule is super suspect. The schedule is worse than a Michigan schedule. That schedule for Notre Dame next year is horrible. Horrible. So what if Notre Dame would have lost 4 games that year? Who cares? That's a trash Notre Dame team. 10 wins or 8 games. Don't sit up here and act like that was an elite Notre Dame team. That was one of the worst Notre Dame teams in Brian Kelly's history. What are we talking about? You had Michael Mayer, and what else left? What else?
Damn.
Everybody agreed in the chat that schedule was soft in the mud. The biggest game was Cincinnati left.
Was Cincinnati, and we lost. And we lost that game at home.
The biggest game on the schedule was Cincinnati
at home.
And you sacrifice trying to look good in one season to actually developing an actual quarterback room the way it's supposed to be developed. And getting Jack Cohn got you Sam Hartman. And guess what? Sam Hartman didn't do what you expected him to do. So,
which we should have had indicators of before.
So when are we going to learn the lesson? Now we're scared to start a sophomore quarterback
because we don't want to sacrifice
where we play Texas A&M.
We don't want to sacrifice the potential production of a guy that's older. That doesn't make sense to me.
Dante Moore got his butt kicked on the road.
It will be better for it.
It's going to be better for it.
Because UCLA ain't winning nothing this year, so who cares?
All these front runner fans, bro, that want everything to be perfect. Chip Kelly has set his program up
to be good
for the next 2 years because he let his freshmen take his lumps. And when he saw, man, let me take him out and let him practice some more. But he's going to be better for the experience.
Yeah, and UCLA is going to be good next year. Why?
He's going to be better for it. Everybody can't be Trevor Lawrence, man.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Everybody can't be Trevor Lawrence and walk in as a freshman and just be ready to go. What are we talking about?
I mean, you're talking about 2 NFL starters.
Let me ask you a question. What has happened to Clemson and Dabo since the Trevor Lawrences have left?
They stopped developing quarterbacks.
Since he doesn't have that freshman quarterback that can walk in and walk on the field, what's happened to that program, left?
They realize that they don't have a good team.
Because they haven't been developing quarterbacks, bro. They've been going and getting one generational cats.
And then after Trevor, the boy after Trevor, he ended up transferring.
Mm-hmm.
The boy they got in, DJ, they didn't develop him in their offense. He goes and exposes y'all for no development and gets developed.
To Oregon State, and now they put something around him, and now he's playing okay.
Now he's something. Then you try to do the generational route again with Cade Klubnik, and he's a dud. And you didn't develop Cade. Cade has got worse since last year. Worse. So Dabo had his flash in the pan, lightning struck twice. You get a Deshaun and Trevor. After that, you did Kelly wrong. And Kelly Bryant was your most developed outside of the generational talent that you had. He's your third best you had, and you benched him. So Clemson is going to have a long time recovering from that due to the fact that they don't even like transfers and all that stuff. Now they got to figure themselves out and catch up with the times of college football. For us, we're caught up. We just got to make the right decisions.
Now they blaming Cade Klubnik fumbling the ball and being a goofy on the goal line when he was supposed to hand the ball off and going rogue and trying to run around the corner against Miami last week. That's his receivers too.
We saw Cade Klubnik trying to run around against us.
He's not the smartest quarterback. That's the struggle. Go listen to Clemson podcast. His struggles is his mind. Has nothing to do with his physical talent. He makes bad decisions.
Yeah, he's not a good decision maker.
He makes bad decisions. I don't care what wide receiver's on the outside. As a quarterback, when you make bad decisions, if that's the case, see, I'm the wrong dude, bro. I told you I should have been a lawyer. See, because the same dude that's talking about Clemson wide receivers ain't saying nothing about the wide receivers at UCLA. Name me a top-notch wide receiver Dante Moore has, Left. Name one. His best wide receiver is a transfer from California. Name a top wide receiver Dante Moore went up against top defenses in the Pac-12 with, Left. Name one. I'm the wrong dude because y'all talking out the side of y'all neck. Don't give me excuses of wide receivers for Cade Klubnik, but then want to try to rake Dante Moore of the coals when he don't have big-time wide receivers either. Clemson has way better wide receivers than UCLA.
Nobody over there.
Get the heck out of here. Don't try to excuse Cade Klubnik being worse. Oh, because of some wide receivers. Man, what are we talking about? But they're going to try to act like Dante Moore is trash when he has nothing on the outside. Nothing. What are we talking about?
Bunch of curly-headed, light-skinned dudes on the outside, man. Dante ain't throwing to nobody.
Bro.
He ain't throwing to a neighbors or one of them top receivers.
I just don't understand, man. I don't, man. I don't understand the fans that are scared to rip the Band-Aid off. You have 3 great quarterback recruits lined up. Start the train. Pause.
Yeah.
If people want to think that's politically incorrect.
But you're absolutely right. You have 3 in the tank.
3 in the tank.
That you can
Let's go.
Start ingratiating yourself right now. Just
let's go
right now. Because there's nothing to win this year. Sam Hartman is his own season. His own, it will have no effect for the rest of the time moving forward. This is an isolated incident, an isolated time in history where you don't count last year and this year into the future of what Marcus Freeman is building. Hell, I wouldn't even add it to the end of Brian Kelly. These 2 outlier years are testing years.
That's it.
Testing. Are we going to test the market with another transfer or not? See how it goes. It clearly keeps us in the same average position we was in before we were looking for quarterbacks. Unless we're going to get a transfer that's the dude, and we're going to get a tier 1 dude, that's different. We're getting tier 3s. Why?
The fan base, this is my point. You can't ask for something and then be unwilling to go through the growing pains, man. For those young fans out there, if you aren't married, let me tell you something, dog. I pray in all seriousness, male or female, if you're watching us, that all of you find that special person to spend the rest of your life with.
That's right.
And I speak eternal favor and blessings over the union and everything that comes from it in the future. But if you think you're going to take vows with that person and there's not going to be pain involved in the future of that relationship, then don't do it.
Don't even do it.
Don't do it.
Because you're going to be more hurt when you get pain and you don't even expect it.
Notre Dame fans have been begging for the quarterback room to be upgraded and to be developed.
Treat it right. Treat it like a quarterback position. Don't treat it like
begging for it.
Yeah. It's time.
And now that it's here, Now that it's here, you want to keep running to the portal?
No.
You want to keep calling your ex every time you get nervous?
Yeah, that's bad. Don't call your ex.
Come on,
you
man.
ain't never gonna leave her. And that's why let Gino earn his money. You done paid for a position that we've been lacking for a long time. It's a crucial position to develop that position, that skill position. And so for Gino, with this year not counting, like I keep saying, I doubt Gino is in Sam's ear all the time. Especially this the end of the season damn near. He ain't thinking about Sam. He shouldn't be thinking about Sam. He should be thinking about Kenny. He should be calling Deuce Knight every Tuesday. He should be talking to CJ Carr every weekend he comes up there. Those are his money makers right there. Sam we set Sam up and let that thing run on his own. We ain't winning nothing this year. Sam couldn't win those 3 games. That was the season. So let's start building for the future right now. And that's where that conversation Marcus Freeman's going to have to come in with and deliver to those guys, starting with Steve Angeli.
Hey, man. I wasn't really on board with you and the whole Tyler Buckner playing early thing initially. But the big picture made sense because of how bad of a shape the program was in. Like, it was in bad shape. Like, we went out, the program was in such bad shape. We went and got a transfer right guard on the. This is Notre Dame, fam. We are Notre Dame. All we do is put tight ends and offensive linemen into the NFL. Notre Dame went and got a transfer right guard the same year Tyler Buckner came. And they didn't even get a good one. He was bad. He wasn't good. That's how bad things were that season, even though Notre Dame won double-digit games. Okay, you won double-digit games. Take inventory of the program. How bad of a shape is the program in? It wasn't in good shape. It just wasn't. They're just not. And Sid Irish, I don't understand your question. Because I know you're talking to the chat, but you said name an elite quarterback this year. They're a transfer. I love the chat today because the chat is really good counterpoints, you know, because I understand the short term, right? And wanted to make sure that you capitalize on next season. But however, if you've been asking for development of the quarterback position, the time is now. The time is now. And honestly, like Donnie Cruz said, maybe coach just wants a veteran in the room. Heck, Steve Angeli will be a 3-year veteran of the offense next year. Right? And for me, if you're going to be a transfer left, I believe this. If you're going to take a transfer quarterback, Notre Dame has been taking these 1-year transfer quarterbacks. You have to be fair to transfer quarterbacks because most successful transfer quarterbacks are more successful in their second year when you really look at the history left.
Joe Burrow, great example.
Joe Burrow, better his second year. Your boy Jaden Daniels,
better second year. Hell, Jared Stidham. better second year.
I think Shador is going to be better his second year.
And he's good now.
I mean, most transfer quarterbacks are better in their second year.
Hell, Caleb won the Heisman his second year.
So, when you look at, like a Jay Daniels is killing it at LSU. I don't know why he's not being considered. I would put him up for the Heisman numbers-wise before J.J. McCarthy.
Well, yeah,
numbers-wise.
I don't know how they're going to pick the Heisman now because it's not about undefeated no more,
Yeah, I agree. Two great examples. Like somebody said, Jalen Hurts and Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson went from a little, let's be honest, North Carolina State.
And he played baseball.
The one thing I will say about Wisconsin coaching staffs, Wisconsin has always had incredible assistants, bro.
Yes.
Incredible assistant coaches.
Yes, every time.
And really good head coaches.
Paul Chris.
Russell Wilson came in and played in the same system that average quarterbacks played in.
Oh, yeah. Hand the ball off, play action.
Hand the ball off 40 times, play action. That's his strength because he went to the NFL and succeeded at the same thing.
The same thing.
He went to a system that has greatness come to the forefront. So, yeah, in 1 year, he was able to do that early on as a rookie in the NFL. But once you take him out of that system of great defense and great running game, what happens to Russell Wilson?
Oh, man.
That we've seen the last 2 years.
He can't find him win. Can't
find him. So that was more about Wisconsin than it was Russell Wilson.
Absolutely.
Jalen Hurts leaving Alabama was more about the head coach being able to develop pretty much any quarterback in his system other than your boy at South Carolina.
Wait a minute. He's always going to have a limiting factor because of his attitude, but he will get better.
Mm-hmm. So those are two great names. All I'm saying, the vast majority, Quinn Ewers is much better or was much better this year than he was last year. What did we say? We wanted Jack Cohn to have a second year. Because we felt like, if you actually put Jack Cohn behind a better offensive line and the running game that Notre Dame had that next year, hey, who knows what could have happened? John Massey, like you said, you give quarterbacks an opportunity to get better in the offense. That's it.
I mean, it's
like
really
I said, we're not going to do the whole Jared Parker thing.
But it's really simple when you break it down. When you have
let me say this. Jared Parker was brought into a situation where he was asked to continue what Tommy Rees had started.
Exactly.
He was open about that. He flat out said, these players are teaching me the system. He said this. It's on video. And the players, like Sam Hartman was honest, saying Tyler Buchner is teaching me the system.
Tyler Buchner was the offensive coordinator in the spring.
Now, you all can debate in the chat who you want to blame. You want to blame Jack Swarbrick. You want to blame Marcus Freeman. That's the case. That's what you're working with this year. I can't sit here and definitively say that I know who Jared Parker is as an offensive coordinator. I can't say that.
We don't know.
I can't say that. Al Golden said he was going to be better as a defensive coordinator this year because for the first time he had the opportunity in an offseason to prepare for each individual team. That's what he said. And like you said earlier, we have seen the evidence of that, Left, along with the players being in his system for a second year. We've seen the evidence of that. So, as much disdain as people might have for Jared Parker, based upon, I'll say this, my opinion, based upon the position and situation that he was put in, I'm willing to give Jared Parker a second year. I am. I understand Notre Dame fans that are not, have no problem, none at all. I'm not defending, I'm not caping for him. I just understand that the position he was brought into was not a normal situation. It wasn't. It wasn't how things normally go down. So I'll give him a second year, especially against that soft schedule next year.
Yeah, you can test more things.
Because it's like, bro, if you cannot get it done as an OC against that schedule next year, then we all know, without a shadow of a doubt, we all know.
You're not meant for it.
No. We all know. So, I don't know, Left.
We all know, Shaun, you're right.
So, man, we come back, we'll get Malik's 3 keys to a dub for this Pitt game. Rip the Band-Aid off, man. Okay? Kenny Minchie or CJ Carr need to start at Texas A&M. Just rip the Band-Aid off, man.
That's it. That's the only way we're going to know. Hell, Nick Saban ripped the Band-Aid off in the national championship game. In the clutch. Ripped the Band-Aid off in the national championship game.
And you know what that means? Alabama is an elite football program because their freshman was ready to play by November. See, that's what elite programs do. They develop quarterbacks and get them ready to play and start a game by November of that season. That's what elite programs do. That's what they do.
That's what they do.
That's what they do. We'll be right back. Lucky Lefty Podcast. Back at it. ONORA Boys, Lucky Lefty Podcast, CFB Nation, presented by T. Malik is getting dressed to go out to dinner.
Yes, sir.
I already knew what you were doing, dog. I know you had the production dinner coming up. I'm like, yeah, he had to cut the camera off, dude. He don't want to show off the pecs.
Yeah, I'm over here doing 50 different things at once. I'm in and out of rooms, getting clothes, everything in between, man.
So,
life of a traveling announcer.
Dude, stop using talented receivers as an excuse for developing quarterbacks, man. That's lame.
Gotta stop it.
It's lame. It's lame. The byproduct of being a good program is your quarterbacks can start a game later in the freshman year. Period. It doesn't matter who you have as a wide receiver. It's dude. JT Daniels got hurt and Jake Fromm was able to start as a freshman, walk into Notre Dame and beat Notre Dame. Because Georgia at that point had become an elite program. Name a Georgia wide receiver off that team. Since it's all about having top-notch wide receivers. Name the wide receivers that Georgia was throwing to.
They had a young George Pickens.
Pickens wasn't on that squad, dog.
Wait, in 20?
Sure, he wasn't on that squad, dog.
What year? What year was this? When we played him at Georgia? What year? 2017?
People don't listen. People get mad when you counter that point. I never said success on the field has nothing to do with wide receivers. You're trying to be slick. What I said was development before they take the field has zero to do with wide receivers. If you're a top-notch program, he will be ready to start a game.
Yeah.
No one said he had to throw. No one said he had to throw for 300 yards. Kenny Minchie's not about to walk out in the field and throw for 300 yards, but he should be able to start a game and execute a game plan.
A game plan, which means you have to have the game plan surrounded by you, and then you have to be detailed within it. Like if you're going into a game and they're not game planning with you or game planning around you, it's going to be hard for anybody.
Thank you.
And we put a lot of guys in that position. You roll them out there, you're not calling things based on their strengths, you're not calling things to support their talents. And then you get mad when they don't produce. It's like, well, what do you mean? Setting up your guys to
fit. See, that's where you get back with arguments like Dante Moore is struggling, but Cade Klubnik don't have no wide receivers. But Cade Klubnik has far better wide receivers than Dante Moore. You contradicting your own argument. Because not one time did you mention the wide receivers at UCLA when you spoke about Dante Moore's struggles. Not one time. Not one time. All you did was mention the offensive mind that Dante Moore had. So wait a minute. The coaching mattered with Dante Moore, but the wide receivers don't matter. But with Cade Klubnik, it's all about the wide receivers. Ain't got nothing to do with the coaching. Getting them ready. You can't have it both ways.
So you're running into a problem there.
Yeah, you can't have it both ways. Either the coaching matters before they take the field to get them ready to run a game plan, or it doesn't. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. Kenny Minchie should be able to walk in that field in South Bend against Pitt and hand the ball off and go play action 15 to 20 times and lead Notre Dame to a victory.
Dak Prescott rookie year.
That can be especially with a quarterback coach, something Notre Dame hasn't had.
So we don't know what the effect it will look like.
Period. What they do when they take the field has more to do with decision making than whether or not they can execute the game plan. Period. Nobody at Clemson questions whether or not Cade Klubnik can execute a game plan. The people at Clemson question his decision making. He has questionable decision making. That has zero to do with wide receivers. Zero. Nothing. Tua, wait a minute. From the time Tua stepped on the field, one of his biggest strengths was his decision making. And it's still one of his biggest strengths. Dude, when you step on the field as a quarterback, who you are is who you are. When Kenny Minchie steps on the football field tomorrow to warm up with the rest of the quarterbacks, he will be the best arm on the football field for Notre Dame. Period. There's nothing that's going to erase that. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. Now, his decision making, that comes from practice, which we don't get to watch, and what we'll see when he finally takes a snap.
Yeah. I mean, nothing to it but to see it, right?
When Clemson walked into Notre Dame Stadium and was getting spanked and got down 21, did Dabo make the decision that Cade Klubnik was ready to execute a game plan against Notre Dame? Did Dabo make that decision with his freshman quarterback? Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
And what did Cade do as soon as he walked in the game? Made a horrible decision on a play where he should have just gone down and threw an interception.
Started Ben Morrison's career just nice.
So that was the first evidence of Cade Klubnik being a terrible decision maker. And he's continued to be a terrible decision maker. He was a terrible decision maker against Tennessee in the bowl game. He's still making terrible decisions. Regardless of the wide receivers, he makes bad decisions. Period. Trevor, as a true freshman, had great physical skills and made great decisions, regardless of who his wide receivers were.
Yeah.
He made great decisions.
He arguably made a couple of them. It's going to be interesting.
Bro. So against Florida State, see, this is when people, go listen to Dabo in the postgame. Who got the blame for not picking up the safety blitz that led to Florida State getting the return touchdown to tie the game? Dabo said that's Cade, and he'll learn. He should have known to hit the tight end. This is the head coach in the postgame. That's decision making. It got nothing to do who the wide receivers are. Stop being lame, man. Stop. It's too many quarterbacks that are good without top talent. Too many. Name the wide receivers that Patrick Mahomes has. Name them.
Justin Ross.
Justin Ross just got put on the commissioner's exempt list for assaulting his girlfriend.
Yeah, so that's why I called him up.
He's gone.
Sidney Rice, or what's his name? The rookie.
Rashee Rice. He's getting better. He's getting better.
Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
And then Valdez Scantley.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that came up.
Yes.
And damn, other than that,
Cade Klubnik against Duke was careless with the ball in the red zone, was he not?
Oh, very.
Was he not? Is that on Dabo? Is that on the defense? He's careless with the football, and he makes terrible decisions. There's evidence of that just about every week. And you want to talk about wide receivers. That's all the quarterback position is all about accuracy and decision making. That's it. That's it. Regardless of who's on the outside, we expect Sam Hartman to make good decisions and be accurate with the football. That's all we expect of him. We know the wide receiver situation. But still, you can't commit 5 turnovers against Louisville. I don't care what the wide receiver situation is. So the truth of the matter is, if you take better care of the football, the defense keeps you in that game in the fourth quarter. Period. You can blame wide receivers all you want. Wide receivers have very little to do with the development of the quarterback.
Very little.
Matter of fact, go check out Tyreek Hill's stats with Alex Smith and Travis Kelce's stats with Alex Smith. And then check out their stats with Patrick Mahomes. Who impacted who? Because Alex Smith couldn't reach Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill's big play game went to another level when Pat took over. Come on, man. Like, stop.
Capping.
Either you make good, Riley Leonard, in my opinion, does not have a great wide receiver core left. And I caped for Riley Leonard before the season. I caped for him before the season. Cade Klubnik is not. How can a dude be terrible at decision making and be better? That's impossible.
Yes,
you can't be a bad decision maker at quarterback and be better than people think. You just can't. 3 keys to a dub. Pittsburgh.
3 keys to a dub.
Hey, man, send Pittsburgh the first 25 plays. Just send it to them.
Yeah.
I don't care. Notre Dame should be 100% healthy, deep, mad, back home, sleeping in their own beds, and they need to walk out on that field and physically beat the crap out of Pitt.
Yeah.
As I said, Pitt mentally is going to play hard because of Pat Narduzzi.
Because of Pat Narduzzi.
But physically, Pitt has nothing to hold up physically in the trenches against Notre Dame. Nothing. So this is the game where, man, here, we're going to run this play 5 times in a row. Left or right. There's nothing they can do about it. Now, that's the game I would love to see from Notre Dame, Left. But give us the 3 keys to a dub.
3 keys to a dub. I definitely believe, like you said, it's about us, not them this week. And it's about proving a point with a statement. We should score in the first drive. I think that, or scoring in the first drive, first quarter, would be one of the goals. We need to start out hot. Second goal, or second key to a dub, is that we have to play mistake-free football. I don't want to see penalties. Because usually when you're playing a team you should beat, you got a lot of penalties because you're playing lackluster. You're making minimal errors, minimal mistakes. Coming out of a bye, no penalties would be the best thing to do or to have coming out of a bye is no penalties. And the third thing is I want to see the defense shut them out. That's the key. Shut them out. We're the 6th defense in the country. We're top 10 around there. Pitt is bottom 1,000. Use it as a reason to integrate your younger guys in on defense, your Jalen Sneeds and Nolan Zieglers. They need to be playing by third quarter, so pitching a shutout obviously is hard and all of that, but that's what has to be the keys, especially if we're making a statement moving into next year.
That was your 3rd key? I'm sorry. I thought you were still on number 2.
Yep. Score in the first quarter, first drive, pitch a shutout on defense, and then the third was just said it.
I'm sorry, I messed up your flow. I thought you were still on number 2. I will say this to support your point of really pitching a shutout.
No penalties. Sorry, no penalties.
No penalties, especially coming off a bye.
Yes.
Don't be sloppy. Do not be sloppy. Pitt only averages 21 points per game. They only put up 14 against Wake Forest. So, look here. They have a quarterback making his second road start. He's only completing 47% of his passes. They have wide receivers on the outside. The biggest threat is Gonzalez, the tight end. So the middle of the field, Xavier Watts, DJ Brown, Ramon Henderson, and the rest of the cast, get ready to shut that down, and you should be able to shut down the run game. Sebo Flemister, Notre Dame fans, you know him. He runs hard. He runs super hard, but he's not that explosive. The offensive line, like I said, in the trenches, Pitt can't handle this defensive front. The way they've been dominating teams like USC and the way they showed up against Duke, the way they showed up against the way they showed up against Ohio State, and until they got tired, they showed up against Louisville.
That's right.
So this defensive front, they've been dominant. They should continue to be dominant and hold Pitt. Now, we felt that way about Central Michigan, but we felt like Central Michigan had the coaching, some really intelligent offensive coaches to be able to attack Notre Dame early and get points on the board early.
That's right.
And that's what they were able to do. And Central Michigan hung around a little longer than they should have. But I really don't expect that against Pitt, Left.
Yeah,
I really don't. I really don't. Especially if Notre Dame is crisp. If they are crisp, this man, look, they're 20-point favorites with an over-under of 42. I've seen the range from 42 to 45. That's not a lot of points, bro.
Not a lot.
And with Vegas not giving a lot of points for the over-under, and they still have Notre Dame as a 20-point favorite left, that's not a lot of faith in Pitt's offense.
Very little.
And
but
Vegas already told you about the USC game a week before they played when they made Notre Dame a favorite. And Vegas is telling you something about this Pitt team. A low over-under with a big point spread. Notre Dame is supposed to come out and, man, Mike Tyson these dudes.
Yeah.
Early. And you're going to have to do it multiple times early because it's going to take a lot to get a Pat Narduzzi team to kind of.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot to put them in the grave, for sure.
Yeah.
But
it's going to take a lot.
We got the players in depth to get it done. That's why it's like, come on.
Yeah, heck. Do you realize Kenny Minchie might have been starting this game if he had stayed with his commitment to Pitt? Number one. He was the only 4-star in their recruiting class. And
NIL's whooping their tail.
Oh, man. That's why Pat Narduzzi, he has a right to be ticked off. Because people are just poaching his program.
And they're not fighting back.
But I'm going to tell you something, man. I'm going to say it again. That cat Sam Hartman better be careful tomorrow, bro. Because the two defensive backs, they are Devonshire fits on routes, especially short routes. I've been begging for a double move all week, Left. All week. Like, man, you have to double move that dude because he's going to sit on the short routes.
We're going to find out for sure because, man.
But tomorrow's the day. I'm not mad. Come out and run that ball. It's supposed to be nice weather, too. Run that rock. Run it.
Run the ball.
Run it, man. All I need from Sam was what? 200?
Yeah, we don't need much from Sam today or tomorrow.
Not much. 200.
2 touchdowns and stay on track.
That's it. That's it. What do you think about the weekend before we get out of here, Left? The weekend in college football. Notre Dame fans, man, look, I understand from this offseason to the Ludwig situation, to Jack Swarbrick, to anticipation and
losing recruits to Dion.
Losing recruits and Ohio State, and the ending of that game. And Jared Park, I understand the frustration. I really do. I understand the frustration. I'm right there with you. But I see the quarterback room being recruited properly and being developed properly. I see the pressure of not having to be perfect finally leaving the program because of playoff expansion. I see the wide receiver room being recruited properly. I have no problem with fans questioning the development. I have no problem with that, Notre Dame fans.
No problem.
None. People question development, and I sit here and say, man, when things went down, a freshman wide receiver jumped up
It do what it do.
and did what he did. So you take the yin with the yang, the good with the bad. In the midst of all of that, the program has progressed, in my opinion. It has progressed. It has progressed talent-wise from Brian Kelly's final year. If that's the bookmark,
that's pretty good.
Has it progressed talent-wise from Malik's 2015 team? No. That's why when Brady Quinn said what he said. That's why when Brady Quinn said what he said, we called cap. And everybody was protecting Brady Quinn. Like, man, that's his opinion. Like, man, this team is nowhere near as talented, especially at the skill positions, as that 2015 team.
And not tough either, like the 2015 team.
Just haven't. So
just haven't.
As we talked about, it's progression, not perfection. And Notre Dame fans, it's not our fault that our view of the program always had to be about perfection, because in order for Notre Dame to really win, get to the playoffs, they had to be perfect as a program. That was perfection every year. Notre Dame had to go undefeated to be a true contender, to be able to win. That's not the case moving into the future. Things are different.
Things are different.
You know? Heck, I'm going to be honest. The wide receiver room, the biggest question for me moving forward is availability. All these darn Jaden Greathouse with injuries, Jaden Thomas with an injury, Deion Cozy, never been healthy.
Never.
Like, yo, when Matt Bayless leaving, that's going to be the biggest question for me. The wide receiver room. When can a wide receiver room just be healthy?
$1 million question.
When can they be healthy? You know? Instead, you know what? The media should ask Marcus Freeman, is he going to go to the transfer portal for a wide receiver?
Or a kicker.
Actually, bro, he's kind of balanced off and he's been much better the last 2 games. He's been much better. But
receiver, definitely.
Hey, I would like to see a Keon Coleman walk in to Notre Dame next year.
Oh, man, that changed life.
Thank you. Please. Yes, I would love to see a Jordan Addison.
How they get Michigan State?
Man.
And we're right there. Come on, Michigan State, we're right there.
Like, forget the quarterback situation. Hey, start the youngsters. Go get a quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, a wide receiver.
Get you a receiver, man.
With Cam coming in.
Yeah. Get them boys coming in.
Let Cam be a day one with another dude on the side.
Yep.
And I'm not even worried about the quantity. Like, I see, Sid, everybody, you're right. Maybe more than one. Just give me one stud. Give me one elite dude. And I'm cool.
Yeah,
I don't need multiple. Just give me one dude that's going to be a Keon Coleman impact.
It'll change life.
Man, did you see, bro, that dude was nowhere to be found the first 2.5 quarters against Duke. Nowhere to be found. That cat Johnny Wilson went out with injury.
Yep.
Just took over. Catching the ball between his legs. Just
whatever he wanted.
Dude.
And he plays basketball.
Does he? I did not know that.
Yeah, I call him a beast.
I did not know that.
He started on the Michigan State basketball team. Not started, but he got time.
Oh, wow. Michigan State has a left-handed kid that's like jumping from the free throw line.
Yeah, he looked like a football player too.
Yeah, I saw him in the scrimmage.
But he can't shoot.
So. My Illini played Kansas in a charity scrimmage.
What y'all gonna do this
down in Champaign? Oh, dude. I'm excited, dude. I'm excited that Bill Self is back in Champaign, bro.
That's nice.
That Illinois program is not going anywhere, bro. They don't have a coach. They're not going. Brad Underwood.
You got the coach, he ain't got nothing.
Brad Underwood is super mid, bro.
Damn.
I've seen, this goes to coaching. I've seen Brad Underwood has been a #1 seed with back-to-back Big Ten Players of the Year and didn't even make it to the Sweet 16. I've seen Tom Izzo take lesser teams to the Final Four, bro. Most of the time. That's all you need to know about coaching.
Yeah.
That's all. This dude, the #1 seed, and loses to Loyola, dude.
Yeah, down the street.
And like Coach Vic said, Coach Vic asked me last week who's going to win the game between Missouri and Illinois. It didn't take me 2 seconds. I was like, Missouri's going to win. Because they have the better coach. Quanzo Martin is the better coach. Period. That's it. He's the better coach. That's it. So, your prediction, bro.
I got us a nice 40-piece nugget. I got us going 42-10. 42-10.
So you definitely had them covering, and you definitely have the over. And I'm going to go 38-7. I got Pitt maybe driving to like put a late score on the board to get to the teams.
That's where the field goal come in.
But unless Pitt is like a special teams or defensive touchdown, 38-7. 38-7. What's your prediction, guys? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. We got so excited about the Notre Dame quarterback talk. I forgot to release. I'll put it out there as well on the YouTube poll. 63% of you that voted on the quarterback question from yesterday, 63% of you said you want to see Kenny Minchey as a starting quarterback. We had over 300 voters, and 63% of you said you want to see Kenny Minchey as a starting quarterback next year.
That's right. That's good poll numbers.
Good poll numbers. We'll put the poll up today. I'll say it just so you guys know before it goes up on the poll. Which scandal is worse? Which scandal is worse? The Houston Astros, the New England Patriots, or the Michigan Wolverines?
Good question.
Which scandal is worse in your opinion? I'm biased as a baseball fanatic, so it's always going to be the Astros for me.
Really? You thought it was that egregious?
Bro, who was the pitcher? Yu Darvish is killing the Astros through 3 innings. And all of a sudden, they know every pitch, and they're on every pitch this dude is throwing in the World Series. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Come on, man.
Bring cheating in sports back.
That's like you literally get caught with video equipment from center field, and allegedly you got a buzzer system connected to the players at the plate to let them know what pitch is coming. Yeah, bro.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
That's egregious for sure. It's definitely egregious. I would say Michigan only because it keeps getting deeper.
You ain't lying, bro.
We don't know where that thing
man.
stay.
And then I didn't know. I might be exaggerating a little bit. I didn't know, dude. Stallions was like a retired Navy SEAL, or
that man
like
he does real recon
code breaker for the services.
This man is a real recon mission type of dude.
Like, damn.
He's
carrying
out missions and cases.
If that's the case, I gotta interview Jack Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Because I think he has the connection to the armed services. Their family is really connected to the armed services. And
they got splinter cells working.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
They ain't slick.
Like you said, man. They ticked Ohio State off, and Ohio State got the ball rolling, allegedly, according to reports.
Mm-hmm. They just kicked it over the hill, and they're gonna watch it roll.
And the rest of the Big Ten
is joining up.
Yo, we got y'all back, Ohio State.
Michigan might not be good for the next 10 years. Crazy.
That man. So we're just gonna let the Patriots off their hook.
It's Tom Brady, man. It's Tom Brady.
I will say this: taping the practices of the Rams, for me,
that's egregious.
And the fact they only beat the Rams like by a late field goal, as explosive as that offense was, that's the one where I'm like, okay, if everything was fair, the Rams probably blitz y'all in that Super Bowl.
They knew that. That's why they cheated.
And Coach Vic being from the Lou is like, thank you. Yes, that's one that I say, but other than that, I don't know if I can really point to a Super Bowl. I don't know if I can really point to a Super Bowl where I'm like, Seattle's just dumb. Seattle and Atlanta just gave them Super Bowls. Atlanta just gave one away, and Seattle, you're on the 1 yard line with Marshawn in the backfield, bro. Like, did you see his interview on Club Shay Shay?
About how he didn't like Russell Wilson?
About how after that play in the Super Bowl, he walked off the field.
He said ha ha
in the head coach's face and walked straight to the locker room.
Yeah, what else you supposed to do? Damn, that was such a moment in football history. It's just like,
man, it literally shifted the history of two franchises in a moment.
In a play.
They went from being two-time possible dynasty franchise to the demise of Russell Wilson's career.
He was playing at MVP level that a couple years before he left Seattle.
I'm saying that was when they put everything on him, and eventually, you start to see that that's not the type of quarterback he really is.
The type of quarterback he is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it, Left. I think we covered everything.
Yeah.
I think we covered everything. So, Left, you're on the call again. Let everybody know, because we're going to tweet it out, but let everybody know.
Rivalry game of Miami of Ohio versus Ohio, the Battle of the Bricks. Coach Chuck Martin at Miami of Ohio is his 17th year, man. He's going strong. Former, he was the guy who recruited me to go to Notre Dame. So, love to call the game. It's going to be an interesting one. It's the two best teams in the East MAC Conference, so this will determine a lot for the rest of the year. Super excited, man. They're serious around here with this rivalry. No red in the building, all type of crazy stuff. So, super excited.
Word?
Oh yeah.
No red in the building in Ohio?
Oh man, they don't mess around here. So, man. It's 3:30 tomorrow Eastern. Check us out. It's going to be a hell of a game.
Once again, early in the morning before Notre Dame, CBS Sports, Get your boy Left in the booth. Hey, I'd have tipped my cap because the haircut is on point. Whoever hooked you up out in Cali before you got on the plane,
got me right.
Hey,
yeah, there we go.
Got you right, and the new frames.
And the new frames.
Left.
It's the venti iced coffee look.
What you going with tomorrow though? You going with the open shirt? You going with the bow tie? You going with the?
I was just going a little white and red gray, white red gray with a little blue.
Okay.
We're gonna try to put it together, man.
Okay. All right. So we'll be with you Sunday for the post game. Are you getting out of that quick? Heading back to the left coast? I assume that you're going to be getting back on the plane, heading to the left coast and back on Sunday.
Yeah, I'll be back Sunday evening. Leave right here at noon. So I saved some time. So
yeah. So post game show, we'll get at you Sunday. Because Left will be traveling, and it's going to be I'm telling you now, I'm being prophetic. Let me step into my other side of my life. It's going to be a happy, very happy post game show.
That's right.
Big plays from youngsters, defensive plays. You might see Kenny Minchie on the field.
I need to see Kenny Minchie
on the field. I'm gonna speak that and put it in the atmosphere.
It's gonna be
I'll just go ahead and put it out there.
That's right.
I'll put it out there. It's gonna be a really happy post game show. So for Left in Ohio, man, stay safe. Have a good meal tonight with the production staff. Everybody else, have a fantastic Friday. But most of all, you got to make sure that you spin it different. See you guys Sunday for the post-game show.